Hi, welcome to the press conference for the SCU Lightning Complex incident. My name is Rich Brocchini, and I'm an information officer for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 6. Today is August 27th at 3 p.m. So we ask if you can please silence your cell phones during the duration of the press conference and take any sidebar conversations outside. The format for this press conference will be basically the speakers will come up and speak, and at the end we'll do questions and answers if there are any questions. And then we ask if everybody still can remain seated, please, because we're going to conduct this press conference in Spanish, in Espanol. So just a quick update on the SCU Lightning Complex incident that includes 7 different counties. These counties include Santa Clara, Alameda, Contra Costa, San Joaquin, Stanislaus, Merced, and San Benito. The SCU Lightning Complex remains the second largest fire in California history to date. The incident is currently at 368,000 acres in size with 35% containment. There's over 1,900 firefighters fighting this fight. A total of 37 structures have been destroyed. There have been 3 first responder injuries and 2 civilian injuries. For an operational briefing, Chief Tim Ernst.
Good afternoon. My name is Tim Ernst. I'm the Operations Section Chief for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team number 6. Of the 18 fires that the team first encountered on the day 1 of our deployment, we're now down to 1 last fire, and that's the result of several of those smaller fires in different areas having been extinguished, and then a few burning together into this 1 large fire that we have here, which we call part of the complex. This has been an extremely complex incident and continues to be so. Over the last 24 hours, firefighters have done an outstanding job continuing to add black line, which is a sign that we're actually containing areas of the fire. We've talked a lot over the last couple of days about areas of black line. As you can see here, the entire eastern flank of this fire now is encircled by black line, which means that end of the fire is contained. We don't expect any further forward progress of the fire in all of that area, even coming across the top here on the northeast side of the fire. As we move around more towards the northwest side of the fire, we still do have a section of open line here, so any residents that are in the area or travelers down the highway will see we do occasionally have a column of smoke on the right side of the fire, most of that being firefighters that are working in these deep drainages to burn out certain areas of fuel so that we can gain an advantage there. We do anticipate to be able to close some of these off here in the next probably 24 or 36 hours. As we move around the western side of the fire, we've talked in the last several days, that remains our number 1 priority for the fire because of the threat to public safety along many of these populated areas here on the west, as well as moving into some of the infrastructure concerns here on the southwest and the south side of the fire. With that, we've talked about some of our containment strategies, some of our backup strategies. We have a large contingency line here, which moves just outside of the state park. We realize how important the state park is to the area, and so we're doing everything we can to minimize the fire's movement in that state park. To do that, we've actually moved inside those contingency line and identified some areas where conducting some backfiring would be beneficial to not only suppressing the fire, but minimizing further movement into the park. With that, we do anticipate that there will be a large column of smoke that will be visible probably for the next 24 to 72 hours in this area. You may have even seen this afternoon, we currently have a large column of smoke just coming out of this area at the very southernmost tip of the fire. And that all those fuels are burning out well inside the interior, so those do not pose any risk to us of further movement to the south. While we have not yet contained this bottom edge of the fire, we do anticipate doing that fairly soon, which will then leave just this one major piece open here, which we do hope to address with some of those defensive strategies of a firing plan, which again, that's the smoke that we'll be talking about. With that, that concludes my report. Thank you for the opportunity.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Marcucci. I'm the line officer for the SCU Lightning Complex. I also serve as the Santa Clara Unit Deputy Chief. Today I just wanted to focus on thanking some of the groups that have assisted us. I want to start with the community at large. We are affected 7 counties right now, and we wanted to thank the community that has been nothing but supportive of our operations, and including the ranchers and the cattlemen that we're working with day in and day out to provide some valuable information about their lands and during this firefight. I'd also like to thank the cooperators, both those standing with me here today and those out on the lines, providing, again, additional support to us, and their cooperation is instrumental as we move through this process. Finally, I'd like to focus on the families of the first responders that are on the front lines and in stations providing that customer service day in and day out as we go through this historical fire season. Without that support at home, our men and women fighting this fire and providing that service at home couldn't be done. So thank you to all of those. And in closing, we are in for the long haul. All those folks that I mentioned, their day in and day out support of us. We can't say enough about it, so thank you to all of those. And I think I speak for everyone up here today where I say our thoughts are with those affected by Hurricane Laura. We hope that that is a quick end to that and that the damage and life loss can be minimized. So thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Sergeant Ray Kelly from the Alameda County Sheriff's Office. Speaking to you on behalf of our Sheriff's Office and our community here in the eastern part of Alameda County. I have to greatly thank CAL FIRE. Until you've had one of these mega fires come into your county or your community, having their expertise in this area is phenomenal, especially Team 6. They always put coordination first and the community first and the needs of the local agencies, whether it be the fire or law enforcement. Outstanding individuals and truly dedicated to the work that they do. They are just phenomenal. There are several other groups of people that we would like to thank at this time. You know, the fire is moving in a more positive direction for us, and as you can see, the picture over the last several days has changed in favor of getting our hands around this. But we would like to thank our sheriff's posse. Those are a group of volunteers that have a lot of experience in dealing with livestock and animals, especially horses. They came in to help a lot of those individuals up on Mines Road get their horses out. We'd like to thank our sheriff's deputies who when they're not working in law enforcement, have ranches and deal with livestock and are part of the Livermore Rodeo Association. We'd like to thank our Hold Your Horses organization, who also was instrumental in helping us get livestock out of the burn areas. And lastly, our community ranchers. They were the people that live up in those rural areas. They were our eyes and our ears and our guides on the ground to get us to the places we needed to get to, including CAL FIRE, and to identify those areas that were most at risk. So we're very thankful to our community up there. And it's nice to see that everybody come together. I think the phrase "one team, one fight" has been used a lot during this incident, and that's definitely what was going on up there. In total, just to sum up some of the work that was done, we took 110 horses back here to the fairgrounds for safe shelter, 2 mules, 17 goats, 25 cows, 5 sheep, and 5 dogs, and 6 cats. So just to go to show you the detail and the amount of work that went into protecting every life, whether it was people or animals. We issued 87 agricultural permits, which allow people to go back up into those areas and take care of livestock that we could not get out. And we also, lastly, coordinated mutual aid law enforcement for 6 other counties in the Bay Area. Our agency did. I'd like to thank Lieutenant Paul Liskey, who's sitting over here to my left, and Sergeant Mike Norton. They've worked 18 hours a day for the last week, making sure not only our county was taken care of, but the other 6 counties in the Bay Area. In particular, the CZU fire in Santa Cruz County, where we spent about 5,000 hours, staffed over 60 shifts per day down there for the past week, and we'll continue to help that community and help them get through their difficulties down there. So there's a lot of thanks to go around, and it feels good to come out somewhat winning on the end of this. I think our ranchers and our community up there will have a lot of impact in the days to come. A lot of grass was burned up there. That equates to a lot of feed and food for animals, and so there will be repercussions for them. But where we could help and where we could save, we absolutely did. So once again, CAL FIRE is amazing, and we could not be more thankful to have partnered with them. So thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant David Tate with the California Highway Patrol. We continue to serve in a support role, and that includes assisting with evacuations and road closures. We remind everyone that evacuations and road closures are in place for the safety of the public and for all non-essential personnel to please stay out of those areas. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Blankenheim, and I'm the incident commander of Incident Management Team 6. So we've heard from a couple people up here already talk about the spirit of cooperation between the agencies and that sort of thing, and I'd just like to thank you. Thank you for the words for that. So when Team 6 comes into an area, we come in to serve the local agencies and, more importantly, to serve the communities that are affected by the incident we're coming to. So the motto of one team, one fight is not a mantra for us. It's kind of a guiding principle for us. So thank you for the words. Some unprecedented fire behavior that we've seen across the northern part of the state here in the last several weeks. With that come unprecedented things that we've never seen before. I'd like to reach out to the communities here and thank you sincerely for bringing your concerns to us so we can help you mitigate those concerns. Like I said, serving the community is what we come here for, and without your guys' participation, your willingness to make your voices heard, we might fall short on something. So again, thank you for that. We talk about things that we have not seen before. We actually have a cattleman's liaison now that speaks at our cooperators meetings to represent the interests of the ranchers and the local communities out there. So again, thank you for bringing those forward. And I think I'd just like to close with, it's going to be a long haul still. We heard from Tim, the operations section chief, talking about a few more hard days of work in there. When the fire's out, the real work still continues on after that, and we're going to be here long after the smoke leaves the air to continue to serve you guys. So thank you very much.
Okay, we just want to remind everybody the different ways to get information about the incident. We understand information is a 24/7-hour business, and on Team 6 and all the colleagues up here, we're trying to do our best to provide those tools to get information. So you can go to www.fire.ca.gov and get all the information you want about this incident. Additionally, you can also call the information line, which is staffed 24 hours a day, to talk to a human to ask questions about the incident. That phone number is 916-618-3195. Additionally, we have an online live digital map of the evacuation areas, so you can input your address to see if you're in an evacuation warning or order and eventually a repopulation area. It's been very effective for the constituents out there to take a look at that map. Additionally, you can also follow us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, for any updates as well. With that, we'll take some questions right now. Are there any questions out there? Okay, so since there's no questions at this time, we're going to go ahead and conduct our press conference in Espanol.
Buenas tardes y bienvenido a la conferencia de prensa para el incendio SCU Lightning Complex. Soy José Amador y hoy es el 27 de agosto. Por favor, apaguen sus celulares para no interrumpir el programa. Este incendio sigue siendo en segundo lugar de los más grandes fuegos de la historia del estado y ha afectado 7 condados que incluyen Santa Clara, Alameda, Contra Costa, San Joaquín, Stanislaus, Merced y San Benito. Este incendio ha consumido más de 300,000 acres y nomás estamos de 35% bajo control, con más de 1,900 bomberos luchando contra este incendio y 37 estructuras destruidas. 5 personas están heridos, incluyendo 3 bomberos y 2 personas civiles. En comparación al año pasado, había más de 4,000 incendios con 55,000 acres quemados y este año ya estamos a 7,000 con más de 1,000,000 acres quemados. Buenas condiciones con el clima nos ha puesto en posición para ganar más control sobre el perímetro de este fuego, pero todavía hay mucho trabajo y seguimos la lucha. Nuestro primer objetivo es apagar ese fuego para que la gente pueda regresar a sus casas lo más pronto posible. Queremos que sepa el público que agradecemos mucho el apoyo de ustedes y no podemos hacer esta lucha sin ustedes. Todas las agencias sí que les dan muchas gracias y a las familias de los bomberos muchas gracias. Gracias por su apoyo. Todos estamos muy bien. Y si hay unas preguntas que puedo contestar, aquí estoy. Muchas gracias. ¿Nadie? We're good.
Okay, thank you very much. That conducts our press conference for today. We will conduct another one at the same location tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you.